It's your chance to be ruthless.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright.
Okay, so you're here because you want to get informed and you want to do it efficiently.
Definitely.
So let's just dive straight in. Today we're looking at something pretty fascinating. The projected 2025 skincare and beauty routine of Demi Lovato.
Yeah, Demi Lovato. Someone who, we first really saw through music and acting.
Right, the Disney Channel days.
Exactly. But, beyond just the entertainment side, Demi's really carved out a space, become a pretty prominent voice in beauty and overall wellness too.
Absolutely. And for this deep dive, we've pulled together quite a few pieces. We're looking at, the specific products she seems likely to be using.
Right.
And also her views on things like injectables.
Yeah, that's a big part of the conversation with her.
So our mission here is really to get a handle on the core parts of Demi's current beauty practices and sort of figure out what makes her approach stand out right now.
Makes sense.
Okay, so to kick us off, who is Demi Lovato, in the context of beauty and skincare today?
Well, like you said, born in 92. But her influence, it really goes beyond just her music or acting. She's become this real advocate, really open about mental health, body positivity, and just, the importance of self-care.
Yeah, that comes across strongly.
And that naturally makes her someone that, a lot of people look up to for guidance, for inspiration.
And you can see how that influence definitely spills into the beauty world, right? It's not just sort of general wellness talk.
Exactly. No, her willingness to share the nitty-gritty, the details of her own skincare routines, her beauty choices, that's made her a really a significant voice. People genuinely listen to what she uses and does.
And it feels like it goes deeper than just, use this moisturizer, doesn't it? She talks about things that maybe weren't always discussed so openly.
That's a really key point, actually, her transparency. It even covers things like cosmetic procedures.
Right.
And by talking about them so openly, she's actually helping to destigmatize those choices, which, coming from someone like her, is pretty impactful.
Okay, so we've got a good picture of her role. Now let's get into the specifics. Based on what we found, what exactly does Demi's skincare routine look like projected for 2025?
Well, it seems pretty clear that products from Renée Rouleau are like the backbone of her routine.
Renée Rouleau, her esthetician.
Yeah, her longtime esthetician. She's barely been working with Renée for, quite a while. So it points to a really strong, trusted relationship there.
That makes sense. When you find someone who gets your skin, you stick with them. So walk us through it. What's the morning routine typically involve?
Okay, so morning. Starts with the Renée Rouleau Luxe Mint Cleansing Gel.
Okay.
After cleansing, she goes for the elderberry toner. Then the vitamin C and E treatment.
Oh, vitamin C and E. Nice. Good antioxidant combo.
Exactly, yeah. Really powerful stuff for protecting the skin from, environmental junk during the day.
Makes sense.
And then she finishes with the Daily Protection SPF 30, always emphasizing that sun protection, which is great.
Super important. Smart to get the antioxidants and SPF in the morning. So how does it change for the evening?
The evening routine, it shifts focus a bit more towards repair and renewal.
Okay.
So she starts with the AHA/BA cleansing gel.
Ah, the acids.
Yep. This one's especially good if she's dealing with breakouts or wore heavy makeup, because those AHAs and BHAs, they're chemical exfoliants, right?
Right, they help clear things out.
Exactly. Gently removing dead skin cells. Then she uses that elderberry toner again.
Okay.
Followed by the BHA clarifying serum, so more BHA to target pores and breakouts. And she finishes with the Hawaiian nourishing cream.
So something hydrating and soothing for overnight.
Precisely. To hydrate and calm the skin while it does its thing overnight.
Okay, so using those active ingredients in the evening lets them work while she's sleeping. Smart. What about, when the inevitable pimple pops up?
Ah, yeah. She seems to have a very targeted strategy for that.
Okay.
So for cystic blemishes, those really deep, painful ones, she uses the anti-cyst treatment. For the more surface level spots, she uses the nighttime spot lotion.
Different products for different types, okay?
Yeah. And then to deal with the dark spots that can hang around after a breakout, She uses the post-breakout fading gel. It's actually a really comprehensive approach.
It really is, covering all the bases for blemishes. And I think I saw something about a peel, too, like an occasional thing.
Yes, the triple berry smoothing peel. That's something she apparently uses, now and then, especially before big events or just when she wants that extra glow.
Ah, for radiance.
Exactly. Those kinds of peels exfoliate the top layer, revealing brighter, smoother skin underneath. It's definitely more of a treat, not a daily step.
Got it. Okay, so we've really unpacked the what. Now let's talk when. When did Demi sort of adopt and evolve this specific routine? It doesn't sound like she just started yesterday.
No, definitely not. You're right. That relationship with Renée Rouleau, it actually goes back to when she was a teenager.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So this isn't some recent fad. It's a long-standing thing. And the routine has probably adapted and changed as her skin's needs changed over the years.
That makes a lot of sense. It speaks to finding something that works and tweaking it, right?
Totally. Finding a consistent approach and just adjusting it when you need to.
And it seems like more recently, she's also brought in some in-office treatments, adding another layer.
Yes, exactly. Starting around 2023, reports suggest she began incorporating Xeomin injections.
Xeomin, okay.
Yeah, about every 3 months or so. And her reasons, at least what she said publicly, are about maintaining a natural look and boosting her confidence.
Which ties back into her whole transparency thing we were talking about.
It really does. It fits with her being open about her beauty choices.
And all of this, it really seems to underline how important consistency is to her, doesn't it? I read somewhere she makes a point of never skipping her routine.
Absolutely. Even after, super long, tiring days, she prioritizes her skincare.
That's commitment.
It really is. And it shows that for her, this is a genuine part of self-care, not just, something optional. It's a real commitment to her well-being.
Okay, so we've got the who, the what, the when. Now, where is Demi actually sharing all these beauty insights and her experiences? Where do people find this stuff?
Well, mainly through her social media. She's pretty active on platforms like Instagram and TikTok.
Right. Makes sense.
She often shares little glimpses into her routines, talks about products she's using and liking right now. It's very direct, immediate connection with her followers.
Yeah, that feels very current. Is that the only way she shares, though? Or are there other places?
Oh, definitely not the only way. She's also featured quite a bit in, beauty magazines, online articles.
Ah, okay. More traditional media, too.
Exactly. And those often feature more in-depth interviews. She gets to talk more about her whole skincare journey, her beauty philosophy, the why behind her choices, in more detail.
So it's kind of a mix, those quick hits on social media, but also the longer, more thought-out discussions elsewhere.
Yeah, it seems like a combination. And that openness, really, across all these different channels, that's key to her influence. It's what's really helped establish her as this trusted voice in the beauty community. And it clearly resonates, inspires her fans, all over the world.
Okay, this brings us to maybe the most important question. Why? Why is Demi's routine seen as so influential? And what are the main takeaways for someone listening right now?
Well, I think her transparency is just massive.
Yeah, that keeps coming up.
By being so open about her own experiences, the good stuff, maybe even the struggles, she really empowers other people who are trying to figure out their own beauty journeys.
Makes it feel less intimidating.
Exactly. It creates this sense of relatability, kind of demystifies the whole thing.
And her willingness to talk about injectables like Xeomin, that feels particularly noteworthy. As we said, not everyone does that.
It's huge. It's incredibly significant. By being so upfront, she's directly challenging that sort of traditional secrecy around cosmetic procedures.
Yeah.
And that can really encourage people to make more informed choices, maybe feel less alone if they're considering or have had similar treatments.
Beyond just the products and the procedures, though, it feels like there's a bigger message she's sending about self-perception and well-being.
Oh, absolutely. Precisely. Her constant focus on self-care, her understanding that, mental health and how we feel about how we look are connected.
Yeah.
And just her strong emphasis on being authentic. That really resonates with people. It lifts the beauty conversation beyond just the surface level.
Connects it to overall wellness, self-acceptance.
Exactly.
So the main takeaway for someone listening isn't necessarily go buy all these Renée Rouleau products, but it's more about understanding her philosophy.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Her journey really just highlights that beauty is so personal. The most important thing is embracing your own path, figuring out what works for your skin, your life, and making that a priority as a form of real self-care.
So to kind of wrap this all up, it's clear Demi Lovato's projected 2025 beauty routine, it's way more than just, a list of steps and products.
Definitely.
It really seems to embody this deeper commitment to self-love, to being authentic, and ultimately maybe empowering others just by being so open.
Yeah, and her whole journey is just a great reminder, isn't it? That while sure, we can get information and inspiration from others, the real core of beauty and self-care is about understanding and honoring what you uniquely need and prefer.
So maybe here's a final thought for you to consider today. How do the personal values, the transparency of public figures like Demi Lovato actually shape your own views on self-care and beauty?
Interesting question.
It's worth thinking about that balance, between taking in external info and really developing a routine that feels truly right for you. Anyway, thanks for taking this deep dive with us.
If you loved this deep dive, make sure to hit like and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes stories of your favorite influencers. Drop a comment below who should we cover next. Stay curious, and see you next time.
Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget.